Don't be afraid of perfection. You will never achieve it. Salvador Dali. A few years ago, a very useful mantra occurred to me, which I have been repeating every day since then, so often that it has long become my habit. There she is. A mistake is just a learning experience. Modern people, especially those from the countries of the so-called Western culture, tend to have a binary, dysfunctional, black and white view of mistakes and failures. We create a false dichotomy of mistakes, as a category supposedly opposed to success, and we run through life thinking only in these categories, trying our best to avoid the first, and achieve the second. But what do these words really mean? If you look closely at the concept of success, we will see that its meaning, first of all, is in creating a life in which there would be more of what you want, and less of what you do not want. And what this means is that success can be a very relative concept, because it depends heavily on your values, beliefs, aspirations, and view of the world. For one person, success is being in charge of a Fortune 500 company, and they won't settle for anything less, while for another, it's a small, but private cabin in the woods, where they won't be bothered by other people, and where they can find peace. But whatever your personal definition of success, one thing is clear: on the way to it, you will certainly need to find out what brings you closer to it, and what only moves you away. And how are you going to do it? Of course, the only way available to you is by trying a bunch of things, and most likely, making a bunch of mistakes in the process. You have to act, experiment, walk blindly into the dark, grope your way through the mechanics of your life and make mistakes, because only all this will help you understand how to be successful in anything. Even if your definition of success is just silence, calmness, and contentment, achieving real, deep inner peace may require you to spend years of meditation, self-improvement, and experimentation, which will inevitably lead to failures and wrong turns. Looking at success from this angle, we begin to understand that mistakes are actually an inevitable, and often even an indispensable part of the process of finding the path to our own success. Without mistakes, you wouldn't be able to figure out what works and what doesn't. If we don't stumble, we'll miss out on important lessons about how to take the right step. From this point of view, we begin to clearly see that success and failure are not opposites in a deadly battle. It becomes clear to us that the dichotomy of success or failure is nothing more than a cultural myth. We understand that it is impossible to achieve one without touching the other. It is much wiser to consider success and failure not as good and evil, but as two equivalent components of any learning process, like yin and yang. These two sides have come together in an eternal dance, and it is the interaction between them that allows us to hone our tactics and methods to create more of what delights and inspires us, and less of what suffocates us. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Remember that any mistake can be a valuable lesson for us. A lesson, even if it is painful, makes us better. Take life lessons. Accept mistakes and failures. Learn to understand that when you stumble, you are one step closer to flying. Enjoy the process. In my dictionary, the word success means enjoying your life path, every second of it, with everything that comes along it, both good and bad. Because there is no magical destination where you suddenly become eternally happy and content when you reach it. Life inevitably has ups and downs, but if we learn to live, and not just exist, then we can begin to look at everything from the point of view of positive non-resistance. We can enjoy the bright streaks of our lives, appreciate the dark ones, and learn something new from them, have fun more often, and direct our lives upwards in an upward spiral, towards a greater and greater degree of well-being, prosperity and tranquility. And if everything falls into the abyss and falls apart, well, it will be a very, very valuable experience for you.